So it's the Man to Man podcast. That's what this is called. That's what we're doing. It's just two guys sitting down having a conversation. We're here at Trout Lake, and this is Saturday night of Becoming a King retreat. So this has we did Thursday night, all day Friday, all day Saturday. So this has been a lot. This is a lot of content. It's a lot of introspection. It's a lot of things that you've been going through. And so I just want to start out by just saying, where are you at? How are you right now? If you were to take inventory of your soul and your heart, not like, hey, my back kind of hurts from sleeping on that, whatever, but how are you right now? Where is your heart and soul at?
Well, to be completely honest, it's at the best it's ever been.
Wow.
Like never have I even imagined how life-changing one weekend could be.
Wow. So what I'm guessing when you came to this, you had some sort of expectation. Now, sometimes we have we think it way out, and sometimes we're just like, well, I'm going to run with it and see what happens, right? What is, if you look at the expectation that you had and where you're at right now, give me a comparison between those two.
Well, honestly, I didn't even know of the event or the book or anything until probably 8-9 days before this event. I ordered the book the same day. I ordered the book first, and then I was was trying to do the scholarship thing, and then so anyway, that didn't work out, but it's fine. But so my expectations, I didn't have many. I read the first. I have a very busy life. I work 6 days a week, 50 to 60 hours at my chimney sweep job,
Yep.
So, and then I have 4 children at home, a wife, 2 dogs, and a total of two foster kids, as well as 4 respite care kids. Wow. Every other weekend. So I'm a very busy guy. Yeah. I was only able to read about 14 pages over. It took like 3 days to get the book, and then between time I got the book and came here, it was like 14 pages, and that's it. So I had no idea what to expect. Just came with an open mind, an open heart, because I felt God pulling me to come here, like stronger than I've ever felt him before.
That's great.
And how I came across it was my Facebook. I just, every day I just kind of get on Facebook, whatever, in the morning, and just glance at the news feed or whatever. And there was a big black square with Becoming a King. And something inside me just kind of stirred, and I was like, what's this about? And I just kind of followed that, clicked and watched the video, and like, that's, I need to go to that. I wonder when it is. And turns out that, it wasn't that far off, and I'm like, oh, there's no way I can get off work. There's no way. My job, minimum 2-3 months in advance if you want to take vacation days or whatever.
Sure.
And they just strongly discourage partial weeks of vacation too. So I'm just like, there's no way, there's no way. And I prayed about it, and I went and talked to my boss the next day, and I didn't even have to give any explanation or anything. He said, yeah, sure.
Wow.
And that was God, because that doesn't happen.
Right.
And then my wife, she encouraged me. She never wants me to go anywhere, because she's got her hands full all the time. I'm at my chimney sweep job all the
right.
time. So when I'm not there, she wants me home, right? To help with the kids, understandably so, right? So, yeah. And she was encouraging me to go.
So.
Yeah. And, you know, back to that scholarship issue. I didn't get it or whatever. It was, that money was gone months ago or whatever. I got an email from somebody. Anyway, so I thought, God's really pulling me here.
Sure.
And I need to do this. And so, well, if I really, really need something or I really, really want something, do I hesitate to put it on my credit card? Well, no, I don't. I just get it and I end up paying for it, like, you know, pay for it later, right?
Sure.
So I just did that, you know, I just did that. And then, you know, like, it'll be worth it. I believe it's God wants me to be there, but I don't know what to expect, you know?
Sure.
So the day I go to leave, our power at the power meter was arcing and our electricity went out in half the house, and had to have an electrician come over. They came over, fixed that problem. And then after he left, the well didn't work.
Jeez.
So I've got all these kids and my wife, and they're at home, and I haven't even left yet, and the well's not working.
Right. And
my wife's like, you know, with all this stuff going on, maybe you should just stay home. And I said, well, I can't. I really feel called to come here, come go there. And I said, I don't know what it's going to be. I just know that I have a very strong push to go, you know, and I've invested $235 and I don't want to lose out on that.
Sure.
And I said, I have to go. So not getting the scholarship actually became
your reason to come.
My reason to come in the end when it, so
it's so cool how that works.
Yeah. It's just, you know, it's all, this whole thing's just been God, you know,
it's amazing.
Can't describe it. I mean, can't explain it. It's just all these things. There's no way all these things would line up. I mean, it's just
right.
It's
either some sort of crazy cosmic circumstance, right? Is what I always tell my older son, right? Like, either there's all this crazy cosmic circumstance that just happens, or it's by design.
Yeah.
Either one, it takes an amazing amount of faith to believe in either one. To believe that all those things could just randomly line up takes way more faith than to go, there's a God who loves me and wants to father me.
Yeah.
It takes way more because it's an insane amount of things to happen.
Yeah.
It just does.
I agree.
So,
definitely.
I mean, that just speaks to, you know, the whole thing. So, how far out of your comfort zone is something like this?
Well, you know, I don't really like, you know, sleeping in a room full of strangers. Right. I don't like, you know, small beds. You know, I'm 6'7".
Yeah,
you know,
most beds are small.
Yeah, and the beds here are for kids at camp, right?
Yep.
You know,
yep.
So but hey, you know,
so it's out of your comfort zone by a significant margin.
Just that, and then. Okay, that's fine. You know, that's all worth it. You know, if it's something that you know God has for me, and I didn't realize how impactful it would be, and you know, I'd sleep on the floor. You know, matter of fact, I slept in my car the first night because there was very loud snoring, and I had the pillow over my head. I had my ears plugged. I didn't put the earplugs in, but I plugged my ears and put the pillow over my head and had the fan on high. That was there, and no match for the snore there. So I was like, I tried sleeping, probably like an hour, 2 hours maybe. I'm like, that's it. I'm just going to my car.
Sure.
And
So you've endured a lot. It was my point in that to do this. I mean, you think about all that you endured to get here. It's way out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
There's so much that's pushing against this, but yet, I mean, I'm telling you, from the Thursday when I met you
Yeah.
to right now,
Yeah.
this is a different Chris than I met a day and a half ago.
Yeah.
Like
I believe
your
it.
whole countenance is changed. Like your personality is changed. Like this is a different person. And typically going through all that adversity, it doesn't bring out positive.
Yeah.
But I mean, I gotta be honest with you. I mean, this is amazing. What I'm seeing,
God's amazing. That's all I can say to explain it. I mean, I'm forever changed. I mean, just like the vulnerability in the small groups and getting down to the nitty gritty of the deepest, darkest type stuff you don't want to share with anybody.
Sure.
You know, is it, you know, connected to so much shame or
right.
or whatever, and you know, complete strangers. And
right, yeah, you don't know anybody here.
No,
right?
no, I didn't know if there was going to be 1,000 people here
right.
or 5. I had no idea.
Right.
So I've never even been to this area before.
Yeah, and nobody here is anybody that you know. So you're coming into a total group of strangers. So tell me, you know, of what you've experienced in here in the camp. And there's a lot going on. Like this is a full experience. You're in the woods. You're out by yourself. You know, all of these things. We're doing these sessions, which are deep dives into a lot of meaty information that takes some time to digest and chew, you know, and swallow. We've got the story groups, which are, again, it's you know, it's intense and it's personal, right? Mm-hmm. And it's very, so out of all of that, you know, give me an idea of something that you are like, man, I like, this is it. Like, this is the secret sauce from this weekend. Is there anything that jumps out as you as like, man, this is what's going on here?
There's a commonality that is unexplainable there, you know, mm-hmm. that I didn't realize that others had in common, you know, like at the core, like, you know, just everything, without getting too personal, and you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. It's like, but
so
it was
Morgan,
so freeing. It was so freeing to.
There you go.
It was so freeing to really dig down and just put it out there, mm-hmm. And to have it received with gratitude and understanding. And I didn't know what it was going to be like. I didn't know what kind of reaction I would get or whatever. I just felt like God was telling me, this is something that you need to do. You need to just dig down, and it's like, get rid of all that's been there your whole life, mm-hmm. carrying these feelings of guilt or disappointment in yourself or mm-hmm. whatever. And it lost all of its power. God just took it, and there's something about admitting to another human being, and then having it also being related to, you know, like mutual understanding, mm-hmm. and there's no way to. It can only be from God,
right?
All of these different elements coming together and just changing me inside. Mm-hmm. Like I could feel it. Like, okay, God's ready to use me now. Wow. You know, like, this is the God that I've always believed in, but never felt this deep. And I have strong faith, mm-hmm. but I didn't know it could be anything like this.
Yeah.
And
it's incredible.
I mean, I don't even go to church. Because I feel like it's not life-changing. It's like, it's like, oh yeah, let's put our hands up for the Lord and sing and this and that. That's all fine and dandy, but it's not digging down into the depth of your soul and healing.
Right.
There's just something about it that's, and what are the motives for going to church every Sunday? Is it to be seen, or is it to just praise God, which is great. But that's not work. That's not. It's not life changing.
Sure.
It's glorifying God. That's great.
Right.
But this event has been life changing from the inside out. Like, it couldn't possibly have changed me more.
So good.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we want, and by we I mean obviously Man to Man, our group, and Mike and I, and the other leadership group, Nick and Garrett and Rich and all those guys. One of the things is that we don't want. That's exactly what we want. We don't want these events to be something that people go to and they experience, and then they go, "Oh man, that was cool," and then 5 years from now we follow up, or a year from now, or 6 months from now, and they go, "Oh yeah, I remember that. That was cool. It's too bad I didn't do anything with that." Right. That's that's a bummer. What a wasted opportunity, right? And so what I hear you saying is that this is the catalyst for further work and for continuing down this road of enjoying God as Father and you as a son.
Yeah.
And where do you go from here, walking hand in hand with your Father?
Exactly.
As a son.
I never really thought about sonship like I've learned here. I've never thought about, I don't know why. I know God's the creator, and I know that he sacrificed his son for our sins, and I mean that is phenomenal just to know that, but to have that certainty and that knowledge that and the freedom that I mean I feel like I'm a work in progress. We all are, right? But I feel like kind of like if you have a house and it's got rotten walls and whatever, and you it's like whatever it would cost more to repair it than it would to just level it and build new. And I just feel like this event is kind of like, okay, it's the demolition of the old me. Okay. And then that makes sense.
Oh yeah. Makes a lot of sense.
And then it's like a renewed, never had before energy inside of me now that's just waiting to change not only my life, but the lives around me, my family, to go home and truly be present with my kids, my wife, and I spend so much energy at my chimney sweep job, and I give work my best, and my family gets the scraps, and that's not, it's not my intention, right? I just don't have that energy. I'm not 20 anymore, right? I'm 45, so it's and when you put in those kind of hours, and chimney sweeps are not an easy job, and you know what I mean? So, I do what I can, and I mean, but I fall way short of from what I've come to understand about what I could be doing and what I haven't been doing. I have just a newfound zeal for going back home and sharing this with my kids and my wife, and then not just being, dad's really, whatever. No, right. But they're gonna see this isn't like temporary. This is life changing.
Right.
So and awesome. I mean, I don't know if my experience is unique or not, but in my group, it doesn't sound like it is. Let's just put it that way.
Right.
I mean, I can't speak for anybody.
Sure.
But I'm just saying it's available to anybody.
Right.
If it's available to me, it's available to anybody.
So good. So
it is. And just gotta if you're, if someone's watching this and they're wondering, oh, should I do it? Do it.
It's good.
Have you ever wasted a weekend before? I'm sure you have, right?
Right, yeah.
Well, it won't be a waste.
So good.
It won't be a waste.
So good. Well, I just wanted to, just to kind of wrap up, I wanted to acknowledge you for taking the risk and for doing this. You're one of the few, as Morgan says in the first session, you're one of the few that has chosen to do this and taken the risk. And I just, like I said, seeing you from when I met you Thursday to now, I mean, I physically can see the change in 2 days. I mean, that is phenomenal to be able to physically see change in a man. I mean, it's inspiring to me, and I just want to acknowledge you for that. And I just want to say, man, that taking this back to your family and taking this to your world is really, I mean, that to me, this whole weekend is a success because of this conversation and hearing your story. It takes a lot to do these, but I would do it for this one story because this is so incredible to me to hear you and to see this. I mean, it's emotional for me to see you and to see the changes happen. So I just wanted to acknowledge you for that and just, thank you for leaning in and for fighting through the adversity to get here. And I'm so happy you're here, and I was so glad to meet you. One of the things Morgan says is that you need to find like-hearted kings, sign treaties, so that when you go to war, they go to war. Yes. And that's what you're doing here. And I can tell you that, from the first event that I went to until now, I mean, I can call some of these guys and frankly, I have at some of my darkest, worst times and say, hey guys, we're going to war. I'm going to war and I need help. And it's not even a question. They immediately show up and be like, hey, so that's what comes out of this. And it's so healthy for guys to have that and feel that I wanted to acknowledge you for taking that step and taking that risk and knowing that it's going to pay off. So
yeah, the enemy tried to rob it from me. He tried to prevent this from happening. I'm convinced of that because all these things happened. There's more that happened, but I mean, those are the bigger things. And, not allowing that fear and doubt in that, I have to, I had perfect excuse to get out, to stay home,
right,
take care of, make sure my family has drinking water, whatever. But over the road, I called the electrician back. He called me when he was done, said everything's working. And, I literally left at the last minute and to make it here in time for check-in, right. At the last bit of it, because it was 4 to 5 or whatever. And I got here at 5 o'clock, So, only God could do that.
Right.
That's all I got to say. And I know that for a fact after this experience, you know, and I'm excited for life and for my newfound purpose, I guess.
Right.
You know, I have a sense of direction now, and the confidence in that direction that, you know, can't go wrong with God.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Chris. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on.
You bet.